And then Cunningham gets into the face of Dijonai Carrington.
The league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time.
Welcome back to the Buzzer Update. We're discussing a growing WNBA scandal involving Dijonai Carrington and Sophie Cunningham today. Steph Curry apparently addressed the subject following the current incident, and his remarks swiftly went viral on the internet. Fans have reacted strongly to the news, wanting to know what actually transpired. Please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment before we break down the entire tale. We'll go into every detail after that. Now let's get started. Okay, what would happen if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed the most gifted young athlete in the WNBA being singled out using dubious tactics? You'll learn how Steph Curry's shocking remarks regarding Dijonai Carrington's actions with Sophie Cunningham completely upended the basketball world. Let me ask you a question first, though. Have you ever seen a professional athlete singled out like Sophie Cunningham has been throughout her career? Stephen Curry's perspective on the WNBA has been significantly changed by what he saw during the Chicago Sky game. Dijonai Carrington. This aspect of Steph Curry's viewpoint devastates Dijonai Carrington. By this part of Steph Curry's viewpoint, Sophie Cunningham is currently at Steph Curry. At the time, Steph Curry was the top player in a league full of amazing athleticism. Additionally, they attempted to physically intimidate him because they were unable to match his exceptional basketball IQ. But Steph and Curry raised awareness of this important issue. At this point, Wnba Carrington's reputation begins to become very intriguing. Stephen Curry recognizes the distinction between what he is witnessing with Sophie Cunningham and what he has witnessed in both the mob environment and championship-level professional basketball. He described it as the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades. And you read correctly.
The WNBA is the gift that keeps on giving. The latest is a clothesline foul on Sophie Cunningham by Dijonai Carrington, the woman that went on an incredibly racist rant against cab driver, and of course, knocked the hell out of Caitlin Clark from behind her rookie year, but that's okay. I'm not mad at that kind of basketball. That's all good. But the problem is after. It was white privilege. White girl goes to the basket. African-American woman knocks her on her ass, clothesliner, knocks her down, upgraded to a flagrant 2.
Steph Curry reacted angrily and swiftly after watching the video of Dijonai Carrington striking Sophie Cunningham from behind while she was attempting to deal with being poked in the eye. This man, who faced famous enforcers like Bill Lemire and Dennis Rodman, was the only person in basketball history who truly understood what pure competitive fire looked like. However, even he saw that Dijonai Carrington's actions were against the standards of competitive integrity and sportsmanship. But hear what Steph Curry has to say about the timing of that shove. Currently, Dijonai Carrington is not happy with his analysis. Please like and subscribe to the channel before we proceed, if you haven't already. Let's go back to the story now. The basketball player brought up a topic that many fans had been considering, but no one with his level of fame had the courage to do so. Playing championship-level defense is not the same as taking cheap punches at someone while they're totally exposed and not looking. According to Steph Curry, his time was considered the most physically demanding in NBA history. You didn't wait to act like a predator when you disagreed with someone. Rather, you confronted them like a fighter. And that's precisely why Steph Curry was so wounded by Dijonai Carrington's disgusting behavior. For now, nevertheless, Steph Curry's criticism has completely ruined Dijonai Carrington's reputation. The veteran Boston Celtics player was enraged by Dijonai Carrington's pitiful post-event response. Instead of apologizing or admitting that she might have gone too far, Dijonai Carrington pretended that fans and the media were unfairly criticizing her. "Damned if I do, damned if I don't," she murmured. However, Steph Curry was even more incensed after hearing such remarks. Legends and winners of the game, who are genuinely exceptional competitors, always accept full responsibility for their actions, particularly when those actions could seriously endanger another player. Steph Curry claimed that when he saw Dijonai Carrington play the victim and sidestep criticism, he was reminded of athletes who knew deep down they couldn't compete at the greatest level. They thus discovered additional dubious methods to influence the game. In other words, because Dijonai Carrington has the actual basketball talents to match greater promise, Steph Curry was effective in characterizing her as a subpar player who uses unscrupulous practices. This is the point at which Steph Curry's research really shines and highlights an intriguing facet of Sophie Cunningham. Steph Curry sees in Sophie Cunningham the same unique attributes that made him one of the all-time great basketball players. Her extraordinary basketball IQ, her unfathomable ability to make big shots, and above all, her divine capacity to boost everyone around her. However, as someone who values basketball ethics, he also notices something that truly worries him. Rather than concentrating just on reaching her limitless basketball potential, this extraordinarily gifted young athlete must always be on the watch for cheap shots and dirty tricks. Steph Curry claims that Dijonai Carrington's strategy perfectly captures all the issues with certain players' decision to play Sophie Cunningham rather than challenging themselves to match her extraordinary skill level or outwork her on the court through commitment and preparation. The fact that she gets physically abused when she is most vulnerable is alarming. Steph Curry claims that this conduct is the worst basketball competition he has ever witnessed. But the basketball world was talking about Steph Curry's bold remarks. Steph Curry didn't hesitate to draw attention to anything that uplifts Sophie Cunningham and places her position in the proper light, even comparing the circumstances around her to his own experiences with physical abuse at work. He underlined that Sophie Cunningham, who is only 24 years old, is suffering significantly more than the majority of athletes do over their careers. Being the undisputed face of women's basketball is another burden she bears.
I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that Dijonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did, but it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul, but I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
But Steph Curry's remarks regarding Dijonai Carrington's NBA prospects, which are currently circulating on social media, are ridiculous. According to Steph Curry, if the WNBA permits players like Dijonai Carrington to pursue superstars without experiencing consequences, it implies that mediocre players may resort to immoral means to maintain their relevance instead of honing their actual basketball talents. According to him, this sets a risky precedent that may discourage players who are setting higher standards for the league. Steph Curry even went so far as to say that young players who watch at home are duped by the league's inability to sufficiently discipline these actions. He thinks viewing the WNBA should teach youngsters about skill, dedication, and sportsmanship rather than how to choose poor opponents. Steph Curry's forecast for Sophie Cunningham's future may have been the most important aspect of his entire remark. Despite these difficulties, he claimed that Sophie Cunningham was shaped by hardship and that every cheap attack, foul play, and attempt to intimidate her just strengthened her resolve to demonstrate her superiority through skill alone. Steph Curry likened Sophie Cunningham's predicament to his own rookie season, when opponents continuously put his physical stamina to the test. He pointed out that Sophie Cunningham is coping with this conduct in addition to the unheard-of media attention and demands that come with being the most marketable player in WNBA history. Steph Curry's backing of Sophie Cunningham is therefore essential. He is defending more than just a gifted athlete. He is standing up for basketball's inherent purity. He believes that Sophie Cunningham has all the characteristics that make basketball special, such as talent, vision, class, and competitiveness. He also observes rivals such as Dijonai Carrington possess every quality that might be harmful to the sport. The basketball veteran stated unequivocally that the WNBA is in a dire situation. There are two options available to them. Either they continue to let inferior players employ dishonest strategies to stay relevant, or they protect and highlight their best players, enabling stars like Sophie Cunningham to realize their full potential and improve the league as a whole. Steph Curry's message was crystal clear. The decision made will determine the league's future. However, everyone is debating this subject. Will Steph Curry's cautions over Sophie Cunningham's safety be taken seriously by the WNBA? Or would they let athletes like Dijonai Carrington use dubious tactics to damage the league's reputation? Let's carry on the discussion in the comments section below. What are your thoughts on Steph Curry's severe critique of Dijonai Carrington's actions? Do you think he's being overly critical, or do you believe his concerns are entirely valid? More significantly, Do you think the WNBA will eventually take action to safeguard its biggest star? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. I read each and every one of them. Make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more analysis like this that cuts through the noise and clarifies what's actually going on in basketball. Steph Curry's controversial remarks could have an impact on Sophie Cunningham's standing in the WNBA. The basketball community is keeping an eye on this problem.
These types of kind of dirty fouls, so to speak. This is the same player that poked Caitlin Clark in the eye with her long-ass fingernails last year. Take a look.
This clip is going viral of Caitlin Clark getting poked in the eye by Dijonai Carrington. It happened in the first quarter when Clark tried passing the ball to her teammate Aaliyah Boston, but Carrington poked Clark in the eye while trying to deflect the pass. No foul was called, but Clark had to take a second to regain her composure. In the third quarter, Dijonai was defending Caitlin again when Caitlin hit Dijonai in the head, knocking out one of her contacts. No foul was called, but Dijonai had to take a second to put her contact back in.
As this story develops, one thing becomes more difficult to ignore. Discussions are no longer limited to one game, one hard foul, or one controversial occurrence. It has to do with the future of women's basketball, the standards the league aims to uphold, and how its best players are treated when they are in the spotlight. Sophie Cunningham entered the WNBA with expectations that few athletes have ever had to deal with. Every game she plays is watched by millions of people. Every action she does is scrutinized from every angle. Every success is celebrated, and every setback garners media attention. That's what it means to be one of the biggest names in basketball today. Meanwhile, veterans from all throughout the league continue to compete at the highest level, bringing years of experience, tenacity, and pride to every match. The WNBA's goal is to ensure that fierce competition never devolves into unnecessary or dangerous play. Intensity is what fans want. Rivalries are what they want. They are searching for authentic basketball, but they also want respect, justice, and stability. Because Steph Curry is an expert at playing under pressure, his comments have sparked heated debate. Bird faced some of the toughest opponents and fiercest defenders basketball has ever seen during his remarkable career. But his message was more than simply toughness. It was about maintaining the integrity of the game and making sure that basketball skill, rather than controversy, remains the primary focus. Unquestionably, Bird's comments are sparking discussion. Whether you completely agree with his perspective or believe the situation has been exaggerated is irrelevant. Fans, commentators, former players, and media personalities continue to debate what should happen when the league's best players become the focal point of physical play. Do authorities need to be stricter? Should the league apply harsher penalties? Or is this simply a normal part of being a professional basketball player? Everybody seems to react differently. There is no denying Sophie Cunningham's answer. Instead of letting controversy, physical defense, or criticism define her career, she has continued to focus on basketball. She keeps competing, showing up, and proving why so many believe she is the future of sports. Her perseverance is one of the primary reasons her followers continue to support her. The WNBA is receiving unprecedented attention. Discussions on social media are growing every day. The arenas are full. New viewers are discovering women's basketball for the first time, and television numbers are rising. These kinds of situations affect not just a single player or team, but also the league's perception around the world. As the season goes on, each game will become much more vital. Every game that Sophie Cunningham participates in will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed. Every official ruling will be contested. Every game will also add to the narrative of one of the most talked about seasons in WNBA history. The most crucial question is now yours. Do you believe Steph Curry's comments accurately reflect the league's current situation? Do you think the WNBA is allowing competitive physical basketball while taking enough safety measures to protect its stars? And what impact do you think Dijonai Carrington, Sophie Cunningham, and the league will have in the future? I genuinely want to know the opinions of basketball enthusiasts worldwide. Please feel free to express your opinions in the space provided for comments below. The courteous conversation in this group is fantastic, and your point of view may be featured in a future film. As this story draws to a close, it is clear that the conversation is far from over. What started out as a controversial event has developed into a much broader discussion about responsibility, respect, competition, and women's basketball's future. A situation that has attracted a lot of attention is around Sophie Cunningham. This tale has undoubtedly ignited a contentious debate within the basketball community, regardless of whether you agree with her, disagree with her, or simply want to know what really happened. The WNBA is growing faster than before. It's getting an incredible amount of attention as a result. Every game is closely watched. Every severe infraction is investigated. Every reply becomes a headline. Any controversial occurrence has the potential to go viral on social media in a matter of minutes. This means that the league has a vital responsibility to make sure that fans' passion and roughness never devolve into unnecessary or dangerous behavior. Fans don't want a boring game. They are seeking passion. Rivalries are what they want. They exhort players to compete by using every resource at their disposal. But they also want uniform standards for everyone, fairness, and good sportsmanship. This is why these kinds of moments are so important. They have an effect on more than just Sophie Cunningham and Dijonai Carrington. They have the ability to change how millions of people view the league overall. Now everyone is watching to see what will happen next. Will the WNBA respond firmly? Will officials do more to protect athletes in controversial situations? Or will this end up being just another chapter in basketball's long history of intense rivalries? We'll see in time. But we can be positive that Sophie Cunningham has continued to exhibit the kind of perseverance that has made her such an intriguing player to watch. Instead of allowing outside noise to dominate the conversation, she has the opportunity to make her performance on the court speak louder than anything said on social media. This is why sports are so unpredictable. One game has the power to change the narrative. A single performance has the power to silence critics. And a single incredible moment can go down in basketball history forever. I want to hear directly from you right now. What are your thoughts on everything that has happened? Do you believe that Dijonai Carrington overreached himself? Do you think the WNBA should have stricter rules and sanctions in situations like this? Or do you believe that aggressiveness is a normal aspect of professional basketball and that fans are overstating the issue? Please feel free to express your honest opinions in the comments section because your voice matters. If you love this kind of WNBA analysis, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to make sure you never miss another important update, argument, remark, or breaking basketball story. Activate the alert bell. We will closely monitor this issue and notify you if anything changes. Send this video to another basketball fan who needs to know what's happening, and let us know what you think should happen next. We truly value your engagement in our growing basketball community, your viewership, and your support of the channel. There are still more huge games to come. The season is still ongoing, and the next major plot point might surface at any moment. Thus, keep yourself informed, pay attention, and most importantly, keep watching the game you enjoy. I'll see you in the next video. Be cautious and secure until then.